Hello guys, welcome back to our last part of commercial arithmetic, that is income tax. I'll make it easier for you to understand this part more better. So what you have to do on your side is to concentrate and pay attention. So today we are in the topic income tax. More than reality. This is more than reality. Income. What is an income? Income is that amount that someone gets or someone gets paid by a particular person whom he or she is working to, or maybe by a particular government. Is it a particular or the government? By the government. So guys, I don't want to take much of your time today. I want you to understand some terms before I give you what I'm supposed to give you. We have something called net tax. Net tax. What is net tax? Now, net tax is the total amount of deduction refers to total amount of deduction. What do I mean by that? Net tax. Net tax is the total. Net tax is the total, the whole amount someone gets to be deducted from its salary. That is net tax. Refers to total amount of deduction. All right. This is number one. Let's come to term number two. Term number two is the net income. Net income refers to final income for a particular person or maybe of a particular person. So this refers to final amount one receives. Net income refers to final amount one receives. Number three, let's look at number three. We have taxable income. Taxable. Refers to amount, the total amount an employee will be deducted. So taxable income refers to total amount an employee will be taxed. Like for example, if I am a doctor and I am supposed to get let me have a simple figure. If I am a doctor and my salary is always 1 million, my salary is always 1 million, but at the end of the day I only get 810,000 as my net income. So this amount refers to taxable income. This amount hasn't yet been deducted. So the other amount that you get after everything has been deducted, your insurances, your deduction, your debts. Now this final amount is what we called the net income, but this 1 million is referred to as taxable income. So this is the amount that should be taxed. So after being taxed, you get 810. Now this should be your real amount. All right. Okay, but no one will ask you those. Come to number 4 term. Number 4, we have something called gross tax. Now this refers to amount, or let me use total. This refers to total tax. One will be deducted. One will be deducted. That is that. Gross tax refers to total tax. One will be deducted. And you'll see this when we'll be dealing with the last part, which is the revision part of various questions. Let's move to the next term, then last term, which is called allowances. What is allowances? What are allowances? Allowance refers to benefits or maybe benefit. So what is that? For example, a teacher living in Turkana find it hard to reach to the school at the required time. So what happens? The government gives this teacher an allowance. That number 1, he will be getting 12,000 to cater for his transport, so that he or she doesn't complain that there was no means of transport, I had this issue, I never had tea. So those are allowances, but I think you understand some of these things. I don't have to explain much. That is that part. So let's come to synonyms. And that's why I told you to understand English, because if you don't understand what synonyms are, then I don't know how I can help you. Now, synonyms commonly used, and you'll see them, and some of them might even also confuse you. Okay. Number 1 synonym, let's talk of payee. Payee or paye, let me have it in caps. So we have payee. Sometimes it's always written as paye or maybe paye. Now, this term payee is the same as income tax. Payee is the same as income tax. It is the same as net tax. You have to master this. There's no shortcut. It is the same as amount of tax. Amount of tax. The same as tax payable after relief. Tax payable after relief. tax payable after relief. I'm telling you for sure, you will not get a summarized income tax from any book. I'm telling you the truth. You want to get a summarized income tax from any book you will look at. And I'm being sincere with that. Let's check at term number 2. Term number 2, net earnings. Net earnings is the same as salary. The same as net income. The same as net pay. So when you come across these terms, just know this is the other name for this thing, this is the other name for this thing, so that you don't get confused and you mess in a question that you know how to handle. Just because of the other name, now you are unable to tackle the question. Let's look at part number 3, taxable income. Taxable income, the same as gross income. The same as gross income. The same as total earnings. Total earnings. All of these means the same thing. All of these total earnings. All of these means the same thing. Then come to number 4. Number 4, allowances. Another name for allowances. You will see it in other question. Instead of an examiner giving you allowance, an examiner will give you the term benefit. Benefits or benefit. Then you start wondering, what is this? The teacher never taught this. Number 5, we come to gross tax. Gross tax is the same as tax payable. Without relief. Tax payable without relief. I promise you, if you sit down and master these things, you see, mastering is not a problem. The problem is understanding. Are you understanding what you're doing? Knowing that pay is the same as income tax is the same as net tax is the same as amount of tax. That is not, it is not difficult. But find a way to have them. Find a way to have them. I am almost summarizing the topic. So let's come to formulas. That you must know. So formulas that you must know. If you don't have them, I promise you, you won't even be able to tackle a 3 marks question under income tax. You won't. So let me start with simple one. A. And imagine there are only 3, but in that 3, there's one that carries almost 4 formulas. Now, net tax. How do I get net tax? I'm very sure this one you have it. Net tax equals to gross tax minus relief. And by the way, I never told you what relief are. Relief, for example, if you are a government worker, a civil servant worker working in a government office, and you are supposed to be earning 50,000. This is your taxable income. But at the end, your net income appears to be 15,000. Imagine all the way from 50,000 to 15,000. So you write a compliance note to the government. Then the government will consider you and they'll give you something called relief. Now, relief will raise your net income all the way from 15,000 maybe to something to do with 20,000. Are you not relieved from somewhere? So relief comes from the term relieved. Okay. So that is the first part. Net tax is given by that formula, gross tax minus relief. Part B, we have net income. Net income, remember, is the same as salary. So net income is given by the formula taxable income, or some examiners may use gross income or just total earnings. So we have taxable income minus all deduction. Minus all deductions. This cannot, I want you to know here, to have. Net tax is also part of deduction. Net tax. Is also part of deduction. Roman number 2, premiums. Premiums is also considered as part of deduction. As part of deduction if present in the question. If present in the question. That was part what? Part B. Now let's look at the last part. That is part C. Part C, Roman 1. This is where most of the students do make mistake. Taxable income has almost 4 formulas. Wewe unajua ngapi? Taxable income has almost 4 formulas. Number 1, taxable income. Taxable income is equal to basic salary plus allowances or benefit. Remember, another term for allowance is benefit, plus income from other sources. Plus income from other sources. Taxable income equals to basic salary plus allowances plus income from other sources But we shall look at those examples that can be used to solve such question using the formulae above. Roman number 2, taxable income. This one is the one you are used to. Taxable income equals to basic salary plus allowances. Roman number 3, still under taxable income. Taxable income equals to basic salary plus allowances plus 15% of basic salary. Let me abbreviate it as BS. Now, where do we apply this formula? Taxable income equal to basic salary plus allowances plus 15% of basic salary if the civil servant has been housed and doesn't pay rent. Remember those affordable houses. So there's something to do with those affordable houses. There are some government officials that live in those affordable houses and they don't pay rent. At the same time, there are some official government living in those affordable houses and they pay rent. So why should someone pay rent and others don't pay rent? The land is always of government. So when the land is for government people, for the government, the civil servants or the people living in that land of the government, they don't have to pay rent. But their rent is being deducted from their salary indirectly. But if at all the person pays rent in the particular land, then his or her net income is not being deducted on the part of rent. So we have the last formula part here, which is Roman 4. Taxable income equals to basic salary plus allowances plus bracket 15% of basic salary minus nominal rent. Nominal rent is the same as just rent. Where is this applied? If the civil servant has been housed and pays rent at the same time, at the same time, I told you, if you have this, then for you mathematics is nothing when it comes to solving income tax. The topic has ended, guys. The topic has ended. By just having this, if you're a good student, you can check more question, and having this beside you, tackling those questions one by one, you cannot miss those 10 marks. You cannot miss those 4 marks. I'm telling you the truth. The topic has ended. Don't forget to do a lot of practice. At the same time, let us meet in our last video of commercial arithmetic, tackling revision question under income tax alone. I thank you for today. Kindly subscribe and share to other friends. Thank you very much.